Welcome
And
to the
then,
Personalized Learning Camp orientation video. My name is Jason Crabb. I will be walking you through the Canvas course that has all of the Personalized Learning Camp materials within it. The first thing we're going to look at inside of the Canvas course are
and then,
the sample schedules that you could set up for your classes. And so you don't have to use any of these exactly as they are. You can modify them any way you like. But the day begins at 8 o'clock in the morning. You may want to begin with an SEL check in.
and
And
then,
then if you are teaching SIPS Challenge or Rewards, take 45 minutes for that program and then a half an hour for the reading games that we'll go over,
and
25
then,
minutes for the writing lessons that are within No Red Ink, or you can
and then,
assign a student a Alexia lesson,
and
then
then,
20 minutes a day on Reader's Theater, 15 minutes a day on independent daily reading, and then the students will have their recreation of sports, games, tournaments outside, and then lunch will be from 11 to 11:30. And so that is one of the possible schedules. And I've given a whole bunch of different schedules that I will let you peruse at your will. I think I added 6 different possible schedules that you could use. And so then we'll go to the next slide.
and then,
And so now this brings me to the syllabus. And so for the syllabus, what I've done here is kind of identified just basic information about the personalized learning camp. It begins really on the third for your professional learning that you're doing right now. And the with the students, you'll be there with them on June 4th. And then if you scroll down, you'll see that
okay,
all
and
of the trainings are also on this calendar here. It tells you how many minutes each training video lasts.
okay,
Some of
and
the
the,
trainings give you an option of doing an asynchronous training where you're reading on your own without watching the video. And you can choose that for about half of the options that we have. And so you can also, again, peruse that at your own leisure. I'm going to go through all that stuff briefly right now anyway to show you what's available. Okay, and the orientation video will be right here when they get there. So for teachers who are teaching SIPS Plus and SIPS Challenge, you will need to set up a SIPS account online. And so you'll do that using this information right here. And this is in the first module in the Canvas course. And then there is a sample Canvas course it's not a complete course, but if you wanted to look at the sample Canvas course and use that to begin setting up your own Canvas course for the personalized learning camp, you can use it. And this is what it looks like. So I'm going to it right now. It's not a complete course. It's just an idea of what you could. So here is what it looks like. You will actually have to join this particular course, which there's an invitation to this course, and then you can actually then move it over to your own course or copy the course if you wish to do so. And so then there's the schedule, and then you can go to modules to see what it looks like. And so, for example, your overview, your SEL check-in, your TIPS Plus. So, for example, you have your TIPS Plus here, teacher's manual,
and then,
and but this
and
is
then,
just for you. There's a SIPS challenge teacher's manual in there. There's a rewards intermediate lesson TE, lesson one TE. These are
and
just
then,
place savers. Rewards student edition, students joining the class in no writing curriculum here. And then they can share that with students of how to join the No Red Ink class that you've created for them. There's individualized daily reading and what that looks like. And if you're going to have kids take a reading log, you can show that to them here as well. So certain things have already been done for you. If you're going to use it, there's also the videos to share with kids on how to choose books on both Sora and Epic Books. And then there's login instructions for logging into Lexia for students. So that all of this is already done for you to be able to share with students. There's closure for each lesson. We recommend that you provide closure for every day. There's the SEL check-in, creating a matrix, and SIPS challenge lessons. So anyway, this you can kind of peruse this a little bit more yourself, but that's just some sample, a kind of a template that you can begin with to
and then,
share with your students as you're creating your classes. And okay, And so you'll join that class right here, and then you want to use it. Otherwise, you can create your own. And after the orientation is over, after you watch this video, please take the orientation quiz. I'm going to go to modules, and so we just went through this module here, and then there's some voluntary and unpaid PD modules. That this is not a required module for you to go through. It's just information you might want to have. And then so if you're interested in learning how to give the SIPS diagnostic assessment test, it's there. If you want to read about our secondary diagnostic plan, there's a SIPS Plus diagnostic assessment training here, developing a systematic approach to student literacy development, and SIPS intervention assessments here. And there's a student version of that test on a Google slide that if you didn't want to give it with the paper and pencil, you could give it digitally as well. And now this one, the SIPS Plus training, this is if you're teaching SIPS Plus, you will go through and this training, and then 2 parts. Have to take both parts. This first part is shorter than the second one, and this is 36 minutes long. And then the part 2 of the training is, let's see, click on that. It's 53 minutes and 52 seconds long. And so that is approximately a 1.5 hour training. We used to be a 3 hour training. We've narrowed down to an hour and a half this year. And so after you've watched these videos, if you're teaching that, please take the quizzes. And then it's the same thing for the SIPS challenge courses. You're going to watch the video. It's 28 minutes for the part 1, and it's almost 59 minutes for part 2. Same thing for the rewards training. You're going to watch 35 about minute video, and then a 65-minute video for part 2. Okay. And there are some training materials within these slides. So it's possible you might be teaching 2 programs. If that's the case, you'll have about 5 hours total of training, maybe 5 hours and 15 minutes, and then there'll be 45 minutes left over. When some might be site level trainings that will be taking place, and if there's no more trainings for you to do, then you can use that time for planning for the rest of that day. So there's independent daily reading training. And so that's a 15-minute video. And then for option 1, or for option 2, you can read through all the materials yourself. But the video will go through all of the materials that are down here. But if you would prefer to peruse that yourself, you can do the training that way as well. And you're given 15 minutes to do that and paid for. And then Reader's Theater is a 17-minute video training, and all of the materials are in here. And likewise, if you prefer not to watch me basically read through the materials, you can actually just read there's information in this module that you can read through and plan. Use the time to plan by going through the materials and plan for your Reader's Theater time. And then we also have the No Red Ink training. That is a 37-minute video, and it goes pretty extensively into how to use No Red Ink, including how to set up your class and set up your students in No Red Ink. You probably do have to watch the video, but there are also No Red Ink instructions and support here. And if you prefer, there is a longer, you get paid for basically 37 minutes, but there's this option will take a little longer, but will give you a lot more depth. So if you want to get more depth of training, going through the asynchronous course yourself and kind of doing the learning at your own pace is what I would recommend if you really want to get a deep dive into No Red Ink. But you have both of those 2 options. And then Lexia is also, we have a 33-minute video here. You've got login instructions before that, but the main part of the training is the video. We also have an option 2, which is very similar to the No Red Ink training, but it's a self-paced training, which includes all of these items down here, or you can do all of it. When I click on this, you'll see that there's the Power Up manual here, and I created a training based upon the manual, and it gives you, and so you can peruse the manual itself, but actually under the manual here, you have step 1, step 2, step 3, and each of these links are videos for the most part, and then there are other items to either read, and then mostly just reading different pages of the manual. But I personally learn better by doing rather than watching videos. You decide how you best learn to determine which one you'll want to use as your training that's best for you. Okay. And so that was Lexia. And then we have our SEL training, an asynchronous training again. And this is a video. This is like a 5-minute video, and it just kind of goes through the lessons that you'll see here that are provided from our SEL department. And so there's a bunch of SEL lessons that you may want to use. You could also use some of your own if you prefer. But it's always a good idea to have routines as part of your day. That way you and your students know what to expect, and it creates a much safer environment, and I think for everyone to feel like I know what's coming next. When people don't know what's coming next, then typically, things can go awry. So set up those routines for you and for the students as well. Okay, and then lastly, we have the educational reading games training. And so within this training, we have, and you'll go ahead, and I created I think it was like a 7-minute, yeah, about a 7-minute video here. And I read basically this. So if you'd rather read through this and watch the video, you can do that. But I go through the different games. I sent out 16 games to the school sites. Every one of them have each one of these links are links to kind of an unboxing and an explanation of how to play the games. And so I don't recommend that you watch every single one of them. If a student is going to play the game, you give them the links to be able to watch the instructions. So if you ever played a game you didn't know how to play before, and you decided to let YouTube teach you how to play the game, that's basically what it is. I created like a 5-minute video for each game on how to play the game, and then so that's just to make your life easier, so that you don't have to learn how to play yourself 16 different games, but you probably will learn how to play them all by the end of the summer. And then that's all there is for the orientation video, because that should be plenty to be able to set up your weekly plan. And I just want to remind you that these schedules are here to help you with your planning. Decide yourself how many minutes that you're going to need for each one of the pieces in this. I visited schools last year, and I noticed that some teachers just completely took out some of the things because they felt like I don't have time to do all of this, and they wanted to spend more time doing other things. I think readers theater was given more than 20 minutes in a lot of classrooms, because it actually it has a lot of bang for its buck for the students, and it's a lot of fun. So I just really hope that you guys have a great summer. If you have any questions regarding the curriculum, please give me a call or email me at jason.crabbe, CRABBE, @sausd.us. Again, one thing I wanted to add is that I will be holding office hours from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 in the afternoon on June 3rd. So all you need to do is click on this Zoom link under the initial module for the orientation, right after the orientation video, and join the Zoom room. And you can ask me any questions you have about the personalized learning camp, and we can problem solve, and anything else that you might have questions about. Okay, have a fantastic summer. Thank you.